So with the brand new Celestial Guardians coming in to Pokemon Pocket, there is a big one in our boy Solgaleo EX. Lunala and Solgaleo are kind of the cover features, and I wanted to see what is the best version of each deck. So obviously Solgaleo is going to be up first, and then we'll kind of have a look into the research on the Lunala decks. But I'm pretty sure from what I've seen so far, Solgaleo seems to be that little bit better, and mainly because with being steel, it opens up a lot of possibilities, and most definitely with the rare candy, it works in a very, very fast way. So obviously when we do look at Solgaleo in this, we get Rising Road. So obviously once during your turn, this Pokemon is on your bench, you may switch it with your active Pokemon, meaning there's no retreat costs and you can swap him on your turn. That is already a great ability to have. We only actually need 2 energies to get him to run, and it will give you a 120 amongst having 180 on the HP. Now he is a stage 2, and if you remember the video from Decklist EX yesterday, we have had a massive increase in this item specifics. If you go all the way down, we have got one called Rare Candy. Now, if you've got this in your deck, this will basically mean you can have from kind of the Solgaleo line, it goes Cosmoan, it goes Cosmog, and it goes into Solgaleo. Now, you can just do that naturally, Cosmoan into then Cosmog into, or other way around, Cosmog into Cosmoan into Solgaleo. But what you could do is whack Cosmog on the field and then Rare Candy on the next turn and go straight to a Solgaleo. It's a very fantastic item to have. So in terms of the decks that we're seeing, we have got the Cosmoan and the Cosmog, which obviously Cosmoan has got this Stiffen. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 50 less damage or 50 attacks. Then obviously with the Cosmog, switch one of your Pokemon with your bench, and we do have Skarmory helping this up, both being steel types. Obviously with Skarmory, if you've got a tool attached, this attack does 30 more damage, meaning you'll do 50 right off the rip, which is fantastic to see. We then obviously have got the Giant Cape, the 2 Rocky Helmets, 2 rare candies, and then your standard, your Professor's Research, your Pokemon Communication, your Pokeballs, little bit of Sabrina. You could swap between Sabrina and obviously Cyrus. We also then have Seal 60 damage from one of your stage 2 Pokemon, hopefully getting Solgaleo in there. And then we also have Mars, which is your opponent shuffles their hand into their deck and draws a card for each of the remaining points needed to win. Very good if they are on their final point to win, especially if you do lose one of your EXs. You could obviously put that in play, and then they'd only have 1 card to deal with. Now obviously there is going to be a few types of decks that you can go with. We've obviously got Meganiana, I don't know how you pronounce it, but Silver Cannon. If your opponent's active Pokemon has an ability, this attack does 40 more damage, meaning it does 80, so good against the EXs. I quite like Skarmory in this option. We obviously have Cyrus. Then we also have, during your opponent's next turn, all of your steel Pokemon take 20 less damage from attacks from your opponent. Whether you want that one in, it's good for the steel, but realistically, you got 180 HP. There's going to be very few that can tank that in one. We also have Guzma. Discard all Pokemon tools cards attached to each of your opponent's Pokemon. That's going to be an interesting one. It's why you'll need to have your tools, because obviously the Rocky Helmet, the Giant Cape, if you have all of them on, say all of your Pokemon, it means you just put one on basically, your kind of starting your active Pokemon as well as looking for. So naturally then you could put another one on. We have Skarmory again. We have the Poison Barb, which I think is a fantastic one. Obviously it's used in a few of the decks, and as you can see as well, if you go onto the card in the Pokemeta, most used in Decklist EX, Solgaleo, and the brand new Darkrai EX with the Greninja. So there is a lot of decent decks that you can go with. I think Solgaleo in itself, you got a bit of Excadrill. It's a shame. I know that obviously it is more of a fighting type, but Drillbur, it's a shame that he's not in the steel as well, just to add that next level for him. But you can obviously go with that stage 1 and add him into there. Obviously you've got yourself Lily. You also have Iono, which each player shuffles the card in their hands in their decks and draws that many cards. Always nice. And then obviously red is for your EX Pokemon as well. Just kind of seeing if there was any more. Basically you can go into the top decks here as well, which I think the very first one was kind of the one I personally was seeing more so. So I would say personally the Skarmory has worked absolute wonders for me. Obviously this one is in the Dialga Palkia decks or packs, and Solgaleo is obviously going to be in Solgaleos. We have got Cosmoan and also Cosmog. They will both be in Lunala and Solgaleo decks, and then any of the new items you see, so for instance the rare candy, will be in both of them as well. So that's going to be the best deck for Solgaleo. Like I say, we'll have a look at Lunala. Very, very good Pokemon and plenty of room to really get that kind of EX going. So let me know down below if you've managed to get any. He has got some wicked cards, I must admit. Some of them do look very, very nice. So let me know what you think, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.